What's up, guys? Mr. Shaver back with you. We're on this miraculous journey of Edward Tulane. Hopefully, you're enjoying it. We're already pretty much, but look, we're almost halfway through this book, flying right along. So, we're on chapter 11, all right? That's page 81 if you're in the book here with us. And I'm going to do what we always do. I'm going to flip back. I know we read two chapters last time, but the first thing I see is something that's huge. The last two lines, or the last two little paragraphs of chapter 10 said, Edward felt a sharp pain somewhere deep inside his china chest. For the first time, his heart called out to him. It said two words, Nellie, Lawrence. So what in the world's up, man, with Edward, right? We went from this uh, kind of selfish rabbit that did not care for others and did not really have any emotions besides anger towards people and just didn't really care about anybody. And now all of a sudden he's went from being afraid at the bottom of the ocean to being happy to be alive to feeling, like really kind of at home with Nellie and Lawrence and paying attention to their stories and something totally different than what he used to do with Abilene, right? He never even would pay attention to their stories. And now, this last one, a lot of you put it in the discussion question from last time was he's missing them, right? He's feeling like pain of like, where's Nellie? Where's Lawrence, right? Because he said that life was good for a while, right? He lived with them, the fishermen, for a while, and then what happened, right? How did he get where he's at now? Which looks like he's in a dump, is what it looks like, was Lolly, right? Lawrence and Nellie's daughter came and basically said, I know what you're doing, you little rabbit. I'm getting rid of you. I thought it was kind of mean, right? But I kind of think about it. If I went to my mom and dad's house and they were like feeding a fake rabbit and like putting him in a high chair and stuff, I might have the same reaction. Never know, right? But yeah, Edward's definitely changing, right? And we can continue on this journey. And I want to know what happened, right? He's literally laying in a dump, is what I see, right? Nellie had him in the trash bag and said, "We're going on a trip," and boom, gone. So let's see what happens. Edward ended up at the dump. He lay on top of orange peels, coffee grounds, rancid bacon, and rubber tires. The first night, he was at the top of the garbage heap, and so he was able to look up at the stars and find comfort in their light. There it is again. He's talking about the stars all the time. The author keeps mentioning stars. Huh? We have to remember that and a connection here. In the morning, a short man came climbing through the trash and rubble. He stopped when he was standing on top of the highest pile. He put his hands under his armpits and flapped his elbows. The man crowed loudly. He shouted, Who am I? I'm Ernest. Ernest, who is king of the world. How can I be king of the world? Because I am king of garbages, and garbages is what the world is made of. Ha ha ha! Therefore, I am Ernest. Ernest, who is king of the world. He crowed again. Edward was inclined to agree with Ernest's assessment of the world being made of garbage, especially after his second day at the dump, when a load of trash was deposited directly on the top of him. He lay there, buried alive. He could not see the sky. He could not see the stars. He could see nothing. What kept Edward going, what gave him hope, was thinking of how he would find Lolly and exact his revenge. He would pick her up by her ears and would bury her under a mountain of trash. But after almost 40 days and nights had passed, the weight and the smell of the garbage above and below him clouded Edward's thoughts. And soon he gave up thinking about revenge and gave in to despair. Remember, despair is like worriness, right? And no luck, just negative. It was worse, much worse, than being buried at sea. It was worse because Edward was a different rabbit now. He couldn't say how he was different. He just knew that he was. He remembered again Pellegrina's story about the princess who loved nobody. The witch turned her into a warthog because she loved nobody. He understood that now. Sorry, guys, I just got to mark this because this to me is really important. If you remember what he said that about before, right? He said the witch turned her into a warthog because she was a witch and she was mean. Well, now he's saying the witch turned her into a warthog because she loved nobody. So he's noticing some change here. He heard Pellegrina say, "You disappoint me." "Why?" he asked her. "Why do I disappoint you?" But he knew the answer to that question too. It was because he had not loved Abilene enough. And now she was gone from him, and he would never be able to make it right. And Nellie and Lawrence were gone too. He missed them terribly. He wanted to be with them. The rabbit wondered if that was love. Day after day passed, and Edward was aware of time passing only because every morning he could hear Ernest performing his dawn ritual, cackling and crowing about being king of the world. On his 180th day at the dump, salvation arrived for Edward in a most unusual form. The garbage around him shifted, and the rabbit heard the sniffing and panting of a dog. Then came the frenzied sound of digging. The garbage shifted again, and suddenly, miraculously, the beautiful, buttery light of the late afternoon shone on Edward's face. Man, 180 days in the dump. And there's the picture of what's coming from 12. Lucky this puppy. Is the dog gonna eat it and tear him up? Or gonna save him? I don't know. Guess we'll see, alright? We're gonna stop right there for right now. Alright, that's chapter 11. Hope you enjoyed. Big changes happening with Edward here we've been kind of talking about, but he even admitted it himself in this chapter. Alright, we'll see you next time.